Hello all, this is me Arpita Pal, your educator, and we are here to discuss the 10 most important topics in Indian polity. This course will be beneficial from GS paper 2 point of view for UPSC Civil Services examination. But before beginning, I have an important announcement for you all. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel Arpita Sharma Classes for daily the Hindu news analysis, an analysis of important international organizations, daily MCQs for your prelims preparation, strategy classes for UPSC CSE, polity classes, important Indian polity topics classes, classes, economics MCQ series and whatnot. You can press the bell icon and never miss an update. Also, Arpita Sharma ma'am is taking live plus courses on Unacademy Plus. So you can use the code Sharma20 to get 10% discount and reap the benefits. So let's begin. The first lesson of our course deals with the power of judicial review. What is judicial review? What organ of the state uses it? How can it be used by the various organs of the state? Against whom can it be used? So we will discuss everything about judicial review in this lesson. But before understanding the definition of judicial review or what does it mean, how is it used, we need to discuss some important parts of the Indian Constitution, which is, and one of the most important is the fundamental rights. What are fundamental rights? These are the rights which are guaranteed by the Constitution of India, which is the fundamental law of the land. Okay, and these are the basic human rights available to individuals against the state. So, fundamental rights, why are they called fundamental? Why? Because these rights are guaranteed by the Constitution of India, which is the fundamental law of the land. And these are the basic human rights which are available to individuals against the state. So, these are the rights which are available to people like you and me against the state. Now, you must be wondering what is a state? See, the definition of state is given in Article 12. But before discussing the state or the definition of state, we will discuss fundamental rights further. So, what are fundamental rights? These are the rights which are guaranteed by the Constitution of India, which is the fundamental law of the land. And basic human rights, or these are the basic human rights which are available against the arbitrary action of the state. Okay, these are basic human rights which are available to individuals against the state. Why are these fundamental? Because all other laws emerge from the fundamental law of the land. Thus, they are known as the fundamental rights. So, basically, there are various parts of the Indian Constitution. If we talk about part 3 of the Indian Constitution, it deals with fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are covered in various parts of the Constitution, such as Article 12 to 35. But what we need to discuss in this lecture is Article 12 and Article 13, because Article 12 and 13 are not fundamental rights, but they are included in Part 3 of the Indian Constitution, and these articles are also fundamental for the development of an individual, which has been guaranteed by the Indian Constitution against the state. Okay, so fundamental rights, these are included in Part 3 of the Indian Constitution and are covered under Article 12 to 35. Now, what is Article 12? Article 12 gives us the definition of state. Okay, so what is a state? See, Article 12 gives us the definition of state. And what is the state? Or what is a state as per Article 12? It is the union government plus parliament state government plus state legislature, and also others. What are others? Such as LIC, ONGC, etc. What are these? These are statutory and non-statutory organization. Non-statutory organization. See, definition of state as per Article 12 is it includes all the government and all the governments of the state, the legislature of the states, the union government and the Parliament of India, and others. Others, what are others, or what is included in others? non-statutory and statutory organizations. So you and I are not in state unless we are connected with the government, or even if I am working with the government of any state or with the union government on contractual basis, then I will be considered a state. Otherwise, if I am not working with the government, or if I am not associated with the government in any case or in any ways, I will not be considered a state. So, state is the Parliament of India, the state government, and the state legislatures, and the various statutory and non-statutory organizations. Now, moving ahead, Article 13. What does Article 13 state? Article 13 states that all laws that are inconsistent with or in derogation with any fundamental rights shall be void. Power conferred, or the power which is to declare such a law as void, has been conferred upon the Supreme Court and High Court of India. They can declare any law as invalid on the grounds of contravention of fundamental rights. So, let's understand this part. See, Article 13. Firstly, Article 12. Article 12 deals with state and Article 13 deals with law. Any law which is in contravention with fundamental rights will be declared as ultra vires. Ultra vires means null and void. Okay, so who will declare it as null and void? Basically the judiciary. How? See, our hierarchy of the judicial structure is like this. We have the Supreme Court, the High Court, and the district or subordinate courts. Okay, but Supreme Court and High Court have been given the power of judicial review, whereas subordinate courts have no power of judicial review. It is very important point from your prelims examinations point of view. Why? Because many students can mark it as wrong that okay, only Supreme Court has been given the power of judicial review, whereas High Courts have not been given this power. But this is not true. Supreme Court and High Court both have the power of judicial review, whereas the district or the subordinate courts have not been conferred upon this power. So, Article 13, it states that all laws that are inconsistent with or in derogation with any fundamental rights, so any law which is in derogation with or which violates our fundamental rights, you can also call it the violation of fundamental rights. So, any law which violates our fundamental rights shall be declared as void by Supreme Court and High Court on the basis of or on the grounds of contravention of fundamental rights. So, how do we understand what is a law? Which kind of law can be declared as null and void, or which kind of law can violate our fundamental rights? This definition has also been given in Article 13 of the Indian Constitution. But law is basically a negative term. Why? Because it restricts somebody from doing something, or it restricts or it puts restrictions on the individuals or on the activities of the individuals by the state. So law is basically a negative term, and any law which is of permanent nature or of temporary nature, like an ordinance or bylaw, rule, regulation, any non-legislative source having the force of law. Okay, so any law which is, and law is defined as any permanent law, ordinance, bylaw, rules or regulations, or any non-legislative source having the force of a law can be defined as law as per Article 13. One thing to be noted here is that the Constitution amendment can also be challenged if it violates the basic structure of the Constitution. Constitutional amendment is given in Article 368 of the Indian Constitution. So, if also a constitutional amendment violates the basic structure of Indian Constitution, then it can also be challenged in a court of law. It is not that it is or it cannot be challenged in a court of law. Now comes the definition of judicial review. We have understood the process. We have understood that why fundamental rights, or why we needed to study the fundamental rights, because it is important to understand Article 12 and 13 first to understand the process or the concept of judicial review. So judicial review is basically the power of the court to declare any law as unconstitutional, ultra vires, which I already told you it means null and void. It is a Latin term. So power of the court to declare any law as unconstitutional, ultra vires, or null and void is the process of judicial review. Now the courts can struck down any law which is in violation or abridges or in contravention with the fundamental rights. Mark these terms, these are important: violation or abridgment or in contravention with the fundamental rights. These are very important terms, you need to remember it. See, judicial review, it is the power of court to struck down any law, struck down or declare ultra vires. Which law? If it violates, abridges, or in contravention with the fundamental rights. You need to remember these terms, because if you write it in your answers, you will be fetching more marks. So do remember these legal terms or these technical terms. Otherwise, colloquial language cannot be used in answers. Even if you use it, you won't be getting any marks. So rather use such terms which are mentioned in the books and in official documents. So judicial review, it is a Latin term which means that the power of the court, or it is the power of the court to struck down any law which is in violation of the fundamental rights. Now there are some important judgments which are associated with the power of judicial review. Let's discuss it. See, what happened is, see, there are two important cases. What are these? Or there are some or two very important cases which are associated with the process of judicial review. See, sorry. Need to remember these cases, they are very important. The first is the Keshwanandan Bharti case versus State of Kerala, whereas the second is the IR Kolo case, or the IR Kolo versus State of Tamil Nadu. It was in 2007, this was in 1973. See, these two important cases, why are they important? Because what happened was that the government thought, or the Indira Gandhi government at that time thought that the power of judicial review needs to be relative rather than being absolute, and change the power of judicial review to relative, or let it be relative rather than being an absolute power. So this happened because, see, power of judicial review, the government said it is a relative power and it cannot be used in all the cases, whereas then came the most landmark case, which is the Keshwanandan Bharti case. And what did the Supreme Court rule out in this case? Versus State of Kerala. What did it rule out? Supreme Court said that anything which violates the basic structure of the Constitution cannot be used, or anything or any law or any act which violates the basic structure of the Indian Constitution shall be declared as null and void. So basically, in Keshwanandan Bharti case, the basic structure doctrine was defined by the Indian, or by the Supreme Court of India. So what did we do? Keshwanandan Bharti case versus State of Kerala, whereas IR Kolo versus state of Tamil Nadu. These cases are important because they made the power of judicial review as absolute rather than being relative. They said no, if any law or if any act violates the basic structure of the Indian Constitution, then also judicial review can come into place because it is important to prevent the arbitrary action of the state, and for that we have the process of, or we have the power of judicial review. Okay, so what did we do till now? Let's summarize it once again. See, we did judicial review. It is included in Article 13 of the Indian Constitution. It is the power of Supreme Court and High Court to declare any law as ultra vires which violates or abridges the fundamental rights included in Part 3 of the Indian Constitution. Okay, two important cases which are important or which make the power of judicial review as absolute. They are Keshavanandan Bharti versus State of Kerala and I.R. Kolo versus State of Tamil Nadu. Also, important point about this is that the Keshavanandan Bharti case took place in the year 1973. 1973 is also important. You can also remember it as Sachin Tendulkar's birth year. So, this is important. So, I hope you have understood whatever has been taught in the lesson and you will remember it. Thank you.